Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton. In the studio, guest co-host Laureen Lockhart is with me for this first segment, and I have one of my very, very favorite guests, and the most handsome that I ever have on the show. But we never get to see his face. Hall of Fame turf writer Steve Haskin is with us coming up here on the Breeders' Cup weekend, and we're going to chat to him a little bit about some of the exciting things that are going on in racing that have actually sort of kept us going this year in this rather tumultuous 2020, right, Steve?
Hey, listen, we don't have much else, right?
Exactly. It's been definitely a tough year, but I think the sport of horse racing has continued to be exciting even without spectators. And we've actually really enjoyed at least being able to watch and bet on the races from a distance. Let's talk a little bit about the Distaff and the Classic this weekend. Let's start with the girls. Thoughts on the duel between Monomoy Girl and Swiss Skydiver this weekend?
It's going to be a barn burner. I mean, it's you got two really, really tremendous fillies here. The thing with Monomoy Girl is that for all she accomplished in her career, to be brought back in racing after 18 months off is like unheard of. I mean, she could have very easily been retired and at the top of her game and gone on to be a broodmare. But to bring her back is unbelievable. You just don't see things like that. She's coming back. She's 3 for 3. You know, she doesn't blow you away at the, you know, she'll win by a length and a half or 2 lengths. But she's such a big, strong mare. And, you know, she's going to be very tough to beat. On the other hand, Swiss Skydiver, you look at the race she's coming off of. You talk about another rough and tough filly who handled, you know, the Kentucky Derby winner, who would not let him get by her. And it's just a question, did that race take anything out of her? Because she came back from that race and was blowing real hard. But,
true.
You know, according to Kenny McPeak and what I see on TVG in the mornings, she's full of energy. She's just amazing, considering how many racetracks she's run at this year.
It's true. I thought
she's never run at the same racetrack. I mean, every race, and not only that, but you realize that if she has run this year, in January, February, March, somehow she missed April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and now November. I mean, you just don't see that anymore. And she's still at the top of her game. She's run against colts twice. She ran a tremendous race in the Bluegrass, got beat by a very good horse, an Art Collector. But her race in the Preakness was unbelievable.
It really
the
was.
fact that she would not let Authentic get by him.
I know, she was determined. Girl power, certainly. Did you think for a minute that he might put her in the Classic?
No.
No.
No, I never thought so. The Classic is... Listen, there's no superstar in the Classic, but you've got 7 or 8 really, really top-class Grade 1 horses in there. I mean, it's a tough field.
Certainly
to come back and, it's tough enough for 3-year-old colts to beat older horses.
It's true.
I mean, all you have to do is go back in the record books and you can see that 3-year-olds don't win the Classic that often. So, I mean, you had 3 in a row that Baffert won, but you've had like 5 of the last 19 Classics have been won by 3-year-olds.
That's true.
And two of them were American Pharaoh and Arrogate, who were 2 super horses.
It's true.
And 2 of the 3 before that were Curlin and Tisnow, who are both in the Hall of Fame. So if you're going to beat older horses as a 3-year-old, you better be a damn good horse, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I was relieved to see her in the Distaff. I think she has a really, really good chance of winning that. I know that Monomoy Girl is going to be tough to beat, but I think that's going to be a very exciting race. And then, of course,
she threw the outside. She's won one of the big races on the outside, but
that's true.
We'll just see. We'll just see if she can get position, and Swiss Guy that will be on the inside of her. And listen, this is not to say this is a 2-horse race. There's a lot of good fillies in here.
It's true.
In fact, if you look at the thoroughgraph numbers, I don't know if you know anything about the thoroughgraph numbers.
Only
You know,
what
it's
I
sort of-
only what I
it's-
read from you, Steve.
What's that?
Only what I read from you.
Oh, okay. Well, thoroughgraph numbers are like the Ragusan numbers,
Right.
and it's what all the big-time gamblers use. And the thing is, the lower the number, the faster the race. And with thoroughgraph, when you start getting down around 0 or so, you're talking about top-class horses. Negative numbers, the higher the negative number, the faster the race. Anyway, if you look at the thoroughgraph numbers of the fillies in the distaff, and you say, all right, who are the 2 fastest fillies in the race? It's not Monomoy Girl. There's not one of them. And neither is Swiss Skydiver. I mean, the 2 fastest fillies in the race on thoroughgraph are Horologist in the Molly Pitcher at Monmouth and Valiance, who beat all the fillies in the Spinster in her last start. Their numbers are slightly faster than both of those top fillies. And there are other really good fillies in here. There's another filly who's down on the rail named Cece, who early in the year was the top filly in the country. And they sent her, she won 3 stakes in a row, and she looked, like she was by far the best older filly and mare in the country. And then she went back to California, and the tracks were a little too deep for her. She really didn't care for it. And they brought her back to Churchill Downs. They dropped her to 7 furlongs. And she ran a pretty good 4th, and they ran 121 flat in that race. And I think that really sharpened her. And I wouldn't be surprised to see her run a good race. I mean, there's some really good fillies in here.
Let's jump over to the Classic and talk about Bob Baffert's lineup. He's got Improbable, who I think is going in as the favourite, but he's also got Maximum Security and the Derby winner Authentic. So he's got 3 really good shots at winning the Classic again this year. So
right, and the 3 of them are right next to each other on the outside.
I know, that
So
should be
it's
exciting.
going to make strategy very, very interesting.
Yes.
So, you got Maximum Security drawing on the far outside, and you got Authentic and Improbable inside of him. And Authentic and Maximum Security, knowing Baffert, they have to bust out of that gate. They cannot afford to break slowly, because both of them want the lead. Now, I think Maximum Security has more natural speed. He's got sprinter speed. Authentic doesn't. But Authentic is a horse who needs the lead. He's never won from off the pace, and he's a horse who likes to control the pace. So what I see is Baffert telling the two riders, just go out there, whatever you do, just get out there and go to the lead. And once you get into the turn and you get the lead, then you two can sort each other out and figure out what you're going to do here. Just don't kill each other. So what I'm looking at is Authentic in front, Maximum Security, who, although he has more speed, he's more rateable. He can rate off another horse. And he's going to sit right off his flank, sitting right there. Improbable will drop back to mid-pack, as he did in his last start. But listen, Improbable, if you're looking to beat the favorite. Now, I'm not saying he's going to lose or he's vulnerable. Improbable is very, very sharp right now.
He is.
But his last 2 races were unbelievable setup races. Last race in the Austin again was a 5-horse field. You had 4 speed horses who went out there and just killed each other. And he sat back in 5th. And he made a big sweeping move to get the lead. But he did it through a 26 quarter. And that's really slow. That's why he made such a big move. And then he came home the last 8th in 13-2, which is not very fast.
Steve,
so
always,
always 39 and change 3/8.
Always the
so
fastest.
So that maybe looked better.
10
and then
minutes
it was
on
just
the
a
show.
reverse in Whitney. When they went really, really slow early, and he was right up on the pace and came home fast.
Steve, it's always the fastest 10 minutes on my show. Tuna casserole time. Thank you so much for filling us in with your expertise, and we always love having you on the show. Enjoy your dinner.
Well, thank you very much.
Steve Haskin.
Watch out for Tom's D'Etat in the Classic, though.
Oh, I will. Secretariat.com, Hall of Fame turf writer Steve Haskin will be back in just a few minutes on the Horse Talk Show. Stay with us.